When I started Greeno Eats, it was only ever intended to be a hobby, and it's turned into a job. And I've got you guys to thank for that. And along the way, there have been some real culinary highs, and along the way, there have been some culinary lows, mentioning no names, Denny's. There have also been some kind of pinch yourself to make sure it's real moments. And today is one of those. I'm here in Cambridge, and behind me here is Midsummer House. This is the only 2 Michelin starred restaurant in the whole of the east of England. Here on Midsummer Common, apparently cattle graze on here. I haven't seen any yet, but if you have to see me have to do a runner, probably because a cow's charging at me or something like that. Cambridge though, what a town. University city. You never know, if I'd studied a bit harder in school, maybe, just maybe, I could have made it here. And instead of seeing me waffle on about food, I'd have been round the cabinet table maybe. Or I'd have joined the footlights and now I'd be starring in Hollywood movies or BBC comedies, that sort of thing. Or maybe you'd have seen me in the old boat race, you know? Yeah, maybe not, eh? Maybe not. I'm here to eat, and I'm here to eat, hopefully, very, very well. This restaurant was opened in 1998 by Daniel Clifford. 2002, it got its first star. 2004, it gained its second Michelin star. And 20 years later, still got it. Incredible, incredible. Right, I'm excited to eat here. Let's get inside and get some food in my belly. It's pricey, mind. So now, folks, I have come into the restaurant. Very, very professional service thus far. Now, as part of the menu that I've chosen, which I believe is called the Corpus menu, £170 a head, so it's gonna be good. Fingers crossed. But part of that is you get a little champagne reception. So what I have here is a Laurent Perrier Grand Siècle, which apparently in the last couple of years was voted Wine of the Year. Oh, that's lovely. I'm gonna have to look up how expensive that is online. Maybe a bottle of that over Christmas would be good. I've got to say, this is beautiful though. We're right here on the River Cam. You can't see it, but trust me, it's behind me there. We've got the Cambridge University Rowing Club just down there, so maybe we'll see them go past at some point. So while I'm out here enjoying a bit of autumnal sunshine, I could have sat inside, but there's a couple of guests in there. With me rabbiting on, I thought it'd be better to give them a little bit of space. To accompany my champagne here, I've just been brought out some olives, Puglia olives, the fennel pollen marinade. They do still have the stone inside, but look at the size of that. That's a big old olive, isn't it? And that is to go with this. And that is a really, really good olive. If this is the way the afternoon is going to pan out, I think I'm in for a real treat. I'm going to sit back, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you in the dining room. So after sitting up on the terrace there for a few minutes, enjoying my olives, enjoying the view, I've been brought down into the dining room. It's in a conservatory building here, attached to the main house, and it's decorated beautifully. Great furnishings, great decorations on the wall. And I got me booze with me still. Oh, lovely, absolutely lovely. From here I can just about see out through the garden to the common area there, beautiful green space, and then behind me here, more outdoor seating that they can use in the summer months. Obviously here we are, autumn time, it's not really getting used at all. Really, really calm feeling in here though, love it. Menu time, folks. So what I have here is the menu I've gone for, the Corpus menu. I'll show you it up on the screen. Various little options are going to be little nibbly bits at the start. Then we've got a duck liver royale, which is kind of like a duck foie gras but treated nicely, not force fed. There's a choice then. You can either go for a butternut squash sorbet, or you can upgrade to an Orkney scallop. And then, wow, the menu just continues. You'll see it all on the screen and we'll talk about it as we go through. Like I said, that's £170 a head. There will be a 12.5% service charge on the end, but that does include my very nice glass of pop. To accompany that, I have been handed this. This hefty document is the wine list. And they have quite the cellar here, let me tell you. There is all sorts in here. Think of a wine, they've almost certainly got it. They've got wines from all the usual places, but they've got, you know, Lebanese, Israeli, Georgian, Moroccan even. Wow, very, very extensive. They also, as most of these kind of places do, offer wine and drinks pairings to go with the menu. Now, I am driving today, so I'm going to just stick to my little glass of champagne here and then have a nice walk around afterwards. Sticking by all UK legislation, so I'm not going to be going for a wine pairing here, but there are 4 different options you can get depending on how much you want to spend on it. There's one at £75, one at £135, and if you really want to push the boat out, there is one at £280 a person for 4 glasses of wine. There is also an alcohol-free pairing as well. That is £65 a person, and that's designed by the chefs as well in the kitchen to complement the dishes. But Greeno being Greeno, we're going to stick to the corporation pop. Mrs. Greeno will go nuts. I'm already spending over 170 quid on lunch. Can't go chucking a load of wine on top of it, can I? So the one decision I had to make on the menu there was between that butternut squash sorbet with the manchego cheese and a Mongolitsa pork consomme, or the Orkney scallop. It comes with celeriac truffle puree. So excited I can't speak. And a Granny Smith apple reduction. Now, both sound great, but as we know, Mrs. Greeno is Hungarian, and the Mongolitsa pig over there is a big deal. If you don't know what it is, it's those pigs that have got like curly fur on the outside. They look really cool, really cute. Tastes blooming delicious, let me tell you. So I've decided to go with that because I've got a consomme made of that and the little squash sorbet. Nice and light. There's quite a lot of rich dishes on the menu, of course. So that should kind of just break things up a little bit. Add a little bit of lightness in the middle of the meal. This is proper, let me tell you. This is proper. The levels of service so far, absolutely exceptional. A little bit of light music in the background. It's perfect. Cheers. The culinary experience begins. And brought out some little canapes here to start the meal. Beautiful. They look absolutely beautiful. What have we got here? We have a Parmesan sablé. Okay, that has some rocket powder on the outside of. Oh yeah, server's just told me. Be careful with that stuff because it gets everywhere. Maybe they've seen my videos before and they see the kind of pickle I get into. But yeah, that looks great. Then we've got this little, it almost looks like a little cushion. It's called a barbacoan, and it's kind of like a southern French speciality. This time here, it's filled with some lobster and some Provençal vegetables, and it looks as pretty as a picture. It really does. And then on here, we have a duck liver mousse, flapjack underneath, and some dark chocolate and raspberry on the top. I mean, duck and fruit and dark chocolate kind of is a match made in heaven, isn't it? They look beautiful. I mean, they're almost the kind of things you'd like to take home and put on your mantelpiece, aren't they? They're that pretty. But we got to eat them, folks. We have got to eat them. So, look at this. I'll bring it in close for you to see. Look at the shape of that little apple shape on there. And it's going in one, folks.
Well, you can have
Wow. A biscuit has a perfect, almost crunch, but not quite crunch. And Parmesan in there, it doesn't sort of smash you in the face like that. It's there as a very complementary flavour to everything. There's a sweetness in there too. Oh yeah. Just get me a tray of them. I'll be happy. Let's move on to this now. This might be a bit too big to be a one-biter. Again, I'm going to show you this up as close as I can to the camera. How beautiful does that look? It's almost like when you go into a hotel and they leave a chocolate on top of your pillow, isn't it? Served on this little glass paperweight. Maybe I'll use this little thing as a dish in case I get in a mess. Here we go. Wow. Take a look inside. All that lovely lobster meat in there. Some of it shredded, some of it left a little bit more coarse. So you're getting a great texture and the flavour, and then those sort of Provençal vegetables kind of smack you about a little bit. Again, a nice little element of sweetness to it. The crisp on the outside of that, though, is something else. It really is. Oh, I'll never try them. Last but by no means least, the duck liver flapjack. There we are with the chocolate and the raspberry on the top. How do I pick this up without getting in a mess? Easier said than done. But I think I've managed it. Again, so delicate. The first thing that hits you is that raspberry powder. Like a real strong hit of it. And then the duck liver comes in. A real savoury smash. It's crispy, almost kind of like a brittle kind of crispness to it. And it really, really teases you. Because every little chew you have, you get hints of sweetness and real sweetness. And hints of savoury, but real savoury. Clever. Very, very clever. Next up is their take on a Bloody Mary. So we have a little lemon gel with a tiny little bit of Worcestershire sauce gel on the top there. And then over in this shot glass, there's like a vodka jelly thing in the bottom. There's a tomato element with some Tabasco in there as well. And that, sticking out of it, is a celery sorbet. And apparently what you do, you pick up the spoon, you delve right down the bottom, you get a bit of everything and go for it. So let's do just that. So here we go, we're going to take the advice. We have the little spoon here with the gels on. And I'm going to delve right down the bottom. Mix, get a bit of everything. Get some of that celery sorbet as well. And here we go. Oh my goodness me. That is like a Bloody Mary on steroids. That celery sorbet is incredible. I know a lot of people are a bit funny about celery. I absolutely love it personally. Good Lord. Again, flavours and textures. The tomato element here is basically foamy. But it's got a really nice hit of Tabasco in there. That is absolutely sensational. It's like Willy Wonka's had a go at a Bloody Mary. That's what this is. Willy Wonka having a go at a Bloody Mary. We haven't even had any proper food yet. These are just the little canapes, amuse-bouche. One quite nice little thing here is they've got kind of like a semi-open kitchen. So it's not a proper open kitchen, but there's a great big window you can see in to where the chefs are preparing the food and whatever. Now, I'm not going to show you that. I've been asked not to show any of the staff on camera, and of course, you've got to respect that. But it's really nice to be able to see them sort of beavering away, see them squirting out little bits of that duck liver, pate kind of stuff that we had earlier on. It's just nice to see them buzzing around and getting your lunch ready. I wonder what's next. I think it's more duck liver, to be honest. The treats continue, folks. Over here, we have their homemade bread. And by homemade, that means it goes even as far as they mill the flour each morning to make the bread. I mean, that's commitment, isn't it? And over here we have a cultured butter, an ampersand cultured butter. If I spin this round, actually, you can see that's the logo of the restaurant there on the top in the form of some kind of truffle. Then we come over here. This is the duck liver royale. You got some what looks like hazelnuts in there, a little bit of truffle. And this has been described to me as a celebration of sweet corn. So you can see some actual sweet corn in there, some popcorn. It looks like a little sort of sweet corn crisp down here. And a few little, I don't know, pickled mushrooms or whatever in there. Now, you know me and mushrooms, folks. Not the biggest fan, but if I'm going to enjoy them anywhere, it's going to be here, isn't it? Now, this is going to be a little bit difficult to show you the presentation side of it and for me to eat it, but we'll give it our best go. I want to get some of this bread. Let's rip a piece out if I can. Come on, baby. Beautiful crust to it. It's a lot of bread, isn't it? Maybe I'll take it home and have some for breakfast tomorrow. A little bit of butter there. I mean, this bread and butter is one of my favourite things. Wow, that's so good. The bread itself is really light an area in the middle. That's kind of sourdough kind of bread to go. The crust on it is amazing. I'm going to be a brave boy and we're going to get some of that little truffle element on there. Let's see how that goes. It's exceptional. Because it's cultured butter, kind of means it's fermented a little bit. It really amps up the butter flavour of it. Now, how are we going to approach this little royale thing? Go in with a spoon, I think, just to get a bit out and take a little look at it. You get some with a bit of the nut, so you can see what it's like underneath. There we go, you see that? I'm just going to try it as it is, and then we'll go with a bit of bread with it as well. Much lighter than I expected it to be. A very fruity element to it as well. The nut in there is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Get a bit of this, a bit of that. It's a match made in heaven. I mentioned there's a fruity element in this. That's actually like an apricot gel on the top here. And it really adds a great fruitiness, but a lightness as well. And it pairs with the nut beautifully. Let's try this sweet corn. We've got all sorts in here. Get a bit of everything, shall we? Then we've got a bit of, what I'm going to guess is possibly pickled onion in there. Regular sweet corn, all sorts. Come on, let's just get it in. Down the bottom there's a thing that's almost porridgey. Presumably made from the corn. Maybe that's like grits or something in the States. Sweet notes from the sweet corn. And also vinegary from where there are little pickled bits in here. That just cuts through it. Little crunchy bits. Almost like a sweet corn quaver. You got the popcorn. Oh, that's so good. This wouldn't be for my mate Danny. He's a bit a bit like me with mushrooms, but in with sweet corn, isn't he? That's a riot of flavour. People think of sweet corn as a little bit dull. This just goes to prove. Treat it in an interesting way, and it becomes an interesting thing. The next course has arrived here. This is the butternut squash sorbet with the manchego cheese and a mongolitsa pork consomme. A bit of chive oil in there as well. Missed a little bit of drama. There was a cloche kind of thing over the top. Pulled it off, there was a little bit of smoke under there, and that's kind of infusing into everything. So what we're going to have here, I'm guessing anyway, the butternut squash is going to be a little bit sweet. The mongolitsa is going to be deep and kind of earthy, umami, and the cheese is going to be cheesy. It's going to be a nice kind of contrast of textures and flavours yet again. Now, I've had quite a lot of sorbet kind of things in starters. I had one at the French table, didn't I? Although that was with a sweet kind of chilled fruit soup. And I had one, where was that? The Farm Caf maybe, as well. Let's see how this one is. Got a bit of everything here. Oh, the first thing that hits you is the saltiness of that cheese. Very quickly, the chill of the sorbet comes in. And it almost kind of washes the flavour away a little bit. So you get really punchy umami straight away from that mongolitsa broth and the saltiness of that cheese. Like I say, the sweetness and the cool of the sorbet just follows that then and comes in and kind of cleanses the palate pretty much in between every single mouthful. Again, it's a very, very cleverly constructed, well thought out dish. Mongolitsa pork is great because it has a lot of flavour. There's good fat content in there. I've got little bits in the bottom here, actually, of the Mongolitsa bacon as well. With some little veggies and stuff. And just amping up the flavour, adding textures. It's clever. I don't want to call things too early, but something dramatically is going to have to go wrong here for this not to be a 5 out of 5 place, isn't it? There are certain things in life, even if it's just a once in a lifetime thing, are just worth paying the money for. And so far, this is one of them. Wonderful. Sweet, salty, savoury, silky, hearty. I mean, how many more adjectives do you want? That is a very, very special dish. I was just saying to one of the waiters here, every time they put something down in front of me, I think they're not going to beat it, and then the next plate comes, and the next plate comes, and they just keep doing it. We're just talking about that sorbet in the soup, because that's basically what it is. Apparently, that won Michelin Dish of the Year 24-25, just that one dish. And I can see why. Absolutely knockout. It's a simple idea, isn't it? And we were talking about the way that it works with the sort of hot and cold. And we do it with desserts, don't we? You know, you'll have some custard and some ice cream with your crumble. So you get that kind of hot and cold. And I've talked about that in other videos, haven't I? Why not introduce that kind of idea into savoury dishes too? Oh, yeah. Right. What is next? I think we're more than halfway through now. I don't want it to end. Well, let's see if this is going to better the butternut squash sorbet and mungol. It's a consommé dish. Here we have got pigeon breast, a nice crust on there, and some preserved kumquat on the top. Got some girolles, we've got some elements of sprout and bacon around. A little thing here, a little pastry kind of thing that is stuffed with some pigeon offal royale and a little bit of potato as well in there. And off to the side here we have got a like a laminated brioche kind of thing with some onion in it and a partially deboned pigeon leg that's got all sorts of 5 spice and whatever wrapped in potato and fried. And then keep him warm over here. I'm not going to use the word gravy because I don't want to sound like a peasant. But the jus that is currently sat in the middle there. Should I want any more? And look how glossy that is. That is as glossy as a Labrador that's just been to the poodle parlour, isn't it? So guys, you just saw it on camera there. It looked all pretty the way it's set up, but now I've had to bring it all into shot and ruin the way they set the table for me. There we are. Such is the way you have to do things when you're on camera. Everything gets put to you, sort of presentation side to you. Then I have to turn it all round. I'm going to start with this little brioche thing. This really intrigues me. Again, it looks beautifully cooked. Great aroma of onion from there. Tiny little crisp to the outside. Soft and gooey in the middle. And a beautiful caramelised onion flavour to it. What I like about this, although the dishes are quite sort of fancy looking, they're kind of making sure you don't go away hungry, aren't they? And the great bread, you've got the brioche. So making sure they at least fill you up with bready stuff. I'm also intrigued by this. It's like world's poshest KFC. See if you can just bite it. That is sensational. The potato on there is so crispy. The meat inside is beautiful and soft. Let's see if I can hold it up so you can see it. And there's spicy on there. It's quite subtle, but you definitely get those 5 spice flavours from it. Another dish that is pretty as a picture. Let's cut into this pigeon. Oh, I've knocked the kumquat off the top. You can't take me anywhere, can you? And there we go inside. Lovely and pink, as it should be. Try it first by itself. Melts in the mouth. Let's get some of this kumquat on there. See what that does. Kumquat obviously kind of like, mini little citrusy thing. Wow, and that really does burst with flavour. God, there's a real little flavour bomb, that is. And here we go, folks. You're going to see me pick up a mushroom and eat it. Still don't like the texture very much, but the flavour's good. What have we got here? So is this the pasta-y thing? Yeah, this pasta is filled with this pigeon offal royale. So it's going to be like the world's poshest spag bowl now. Oh yeah, that is as well. Going from the world's poshest KFC, the world's poshest spag bowl. That is outrageous. I mean, every little mouthful is a delight. What's this little quenelle of stuff here? That's flavoured with the sprout. Oh, I mean, so many kind of autumnal flavours in here. You've got the mushroom, you've got sprouts, pigeon, the bacon in the sauce. All kind of lends itself towards the time of year I'm eating it. Wow. Nothing else to say. I know I've said that a million times. Absolutely beautifully cooked, beautifully balanced. I mean, I know you can't eat like this every day, but I wish you could. Okay, folks, I'm aware this video's going on forever because I can't stop waxing lyrical about the food I'm having. And I've kind of broken the rule that I said I was setting at the beginning, where I was going to stick to that £170 menu and not order the other wines and all that kind of stuff. But after that main course, I was just offered, would I like a cheese course? That's £19.50 extra. You know me, though, I'm not going to turn down cheese, am I? Really? Would I turn down cheese? Nah, we're having a cheese course. See you in a minute. Really nice touch here. While I was waiting for my cheese course, which I'll show you now, I brought over one of the cookbooks from here with recipes from the restaurant going back over 20 years. There's loads of them in here. Almost certainly not one I could recreate at home, but some really, really interesting kind of things to read and a real insight into the creative influences behind the restaurant here. Now, I told you I was getting a cheese course, didn't I? And you're going to look at this thing in front of me and go, what? This is the cheese course. Not what you were expecting, is it? So we have like a milfoil here. We've got this, it's made with goat's cheese. Okay, we've got a nettle sorbet, bits of truffle and stuff in amongst it all. I mean, it's just very, very different, isn't it? A take on cheese and crackers. So, great little crunch there as we go through the middle. I'm going to try and get a little bit of everything from the milfoil element here together anyway. And what's good about this, the goat's cheese isn't too goaty, if you know what I mean. Sometimes with goat's cheese I find it tastes a bit like it's been in a cave for 100 years, you know? It's kind of got that almost musty kind of feeling to it. But the way they treat it here with the other elements, you kind of lose a little bit of that. Nettle sorbet. Oh, that's surprisingly zingy. Almost citrus. Oh, that's a real burst of flavour. I did not expect that. I expected something kind of fresh, almost herbal. With that, I mean, you can kind of... There's like almost a grassy element to it, which you'd expect with something nettle, I suppose. But it's got a sharpness about it. Okay, next. So that's goat's cheese. Ice cream, if you like. Every little thing they put in front of me is a treat, and it all kind of messes with your taste buds, with your senses, and your emotions, to be fair. There's some real skill going on. Not just in the design of the food here, but the execution of it. I've been watching what's going on with everyone else. The levels of service to everybody is immaculate. The presentation of each dish, immaculate. This, it's an absolutely wonderful experience. Apparently one more little treat before we get on to dessert. We've got this little shot here. We've got 6 ingredients in it, apparently one of which is whiskey, just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. And the idea is you down this like a shot. Now, the only ingredient they told me in here is the whiskey, and they kind of set people the challenge to work out what the other ingredients are. Although how you do that if you just shot it back, I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Well, I haven't worked out what was in that, but apparently it's in this book somewhere. So I wonder if I should just cheat and have a little look. Not that I'd know what it is or what it's called. Oh, it was good though. It started off very savoury and then went to sweetness. And there's like a nutty element in there, almost like amaretto-y kind of flavour, almondy kind of thing. But we have here the dessert, the final course, a coconut parfait. They've even made it look like a coconut. That's not an actual coconut shell, that is with chocolate. Coconut parfait, and then at the top you have, there's lime, there's chilli as well. Just things that are going to liven the palate up somewhat. I almost don't want this to end. Can I just not sit here and look at this for a while? Come on, Greeno. And we'll go with a fork. Crack it open. Oh, that looks beautiful. Have a look at that. So chocolate and coconut. So there's a bounty. And it does have that kind of bounty element to it. Let me move you back a little bit more so you can see a bit better. There we go. And get little bits of that chilli as well, which apparently isn't just sort of sat on top of the dish. It's actually worked into some of these elements as well. It just brings things to life. A lime in there as well. Coconut and lime. It's a great combination. There's a lime sorbet here in amongst it. Oh, come on. This is just silly now, isn't it? Getting silly. Apparently this is a classic dish here. It's been on the menu for many years. And they keep trying to rotate it off, but people just keep asking for it to come back on again, and I can see why. It's light, but indulgent, and it's not overly sweet because you have that lime, and because you have that chilli element. Lime sorbet acts as kind of like a palate cleanser on there. I was asked not that long ago if I could go back and eat at any restaurant that I'd eaten at before on this channel, which one would it be? And I said the French table now in Surbiton. You got some competition now, lads, because this is absolute knockout from start to finish. Like I said before, the kind of money it is, you know, unless you're super rich, this is a very, very special occasion kind of menu. But if you get the chance, come and do it, because it's just special. Just when I thought I was done, folks, I was offered the chance to have a tea or coffee to end the meal, but just didn't want one. They brought out the petit to go with it though. So what have we got here? An apple tart tatin lollipop on a stick, a little chocolate and truffle tart, finished with a spritz of balsamic vinegar, and a little goodness.
The never-ending trip. Here we have our botros, most similar to a French beignet.
Right.
Comes with two dipping sauces. We have a Madagascan vanilla cream anglaise just there, and a brownie apple compote.
Wow.
On the other side, what I recommend is to take one before eating any of it, dip it in both sauces and get the end.
Really? Okay. Brilliant. Thank you. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Now, I know a lot of you will say, you know, this meal's too expensive, it costs more than a weekly shop or whatever. There's about as much food as in a weekly shop that keeps coming out, isn't there? The little beignet things here to dip in creme anglaise and apple compote. Oh, it just goes on and on. I didn't finish telling you about this. There's a little chocolate here, flavoured with bay leaf. They've got bay trees out in the garden here. Let's try that first. It's got a gel in the middle. So it's like an after eight, but with a bay kind of flavour to it. I can barely fit another mouthful of food in me. But we go on. The little chocolate, truffly, tarty, balsamic-y thingy. Is that a one-biter? Could be, couldn't it? Chocolate mushroom. And for me, as you know, it's a texture of mushroom. I don't like not so much the flavour. That shaved truffle doesn't have that squishy kind of texture. It's interesting, that vinegar, because of balsamic, it's got a little bit of sweetness to it. It kind of just tied everything together. Strange but interesting. Apple tart tatin thing. It's got a whole piece of apple in the middle. So you're getting that apple texture and that sweet apple note, and then the sort of wrapped around pastry. God, yeah. Let's move them to one side. My Greeno, what a big belly you've got. Well, I had before I got here, let alone now. Right, here we go then. So, into the apple, into the vanilla, into the Greeno. Wave the white flag. That's insane. My goodness me, they're good. The actual dough itself isn't that sweet, but it's covered in all of that sugar. Little apple shape again, harking right back. Do you remember at the very beginning of the meal? We had the little Parmesan sablé biscuits. They were that shape, weren't they? There we go. You bite into them and they almost disappear in your mouth straight away. Well, the servers then made a little joke saying that we're not done until they have to wheel me out of here. Or roll me out of here, or one or the other. But I'm telling you, at this rate, that's what's going to have to happen. I'm going to comfortably say, best meal I've filmed on this channel. Not cheap, but worth every single penny. As a fan of Magritte, I absolutely love this. Okay guys, I've come up to that lounge that I could have sat in right at the start if I hadn't sat out on the terrace there. But I think it's going to rain, so I'm not going back out there again. I sat here with a view of the river, beautiful place, and what a beautiful lunch. I'll say I'm not going to go through everything course by course. I think if I was going to have one thing every day for the rest of my life, it would be that butternut squash sorbet with the Mongolitsa kind of consomme. That was special. Really was special, but everything has been next level good. I'm going to say, by some margin now, and apologies to the French table for this, but they've got the silver medal now. This is the best meal I've had on this channel. It was just outrageously good. Everything about it. The flavours, the creativity in the kitchen, the execution, the service, the decor, just the whole thing is deserving of those 2 Michelin stars, and potentially more in my opinion. Now again, it's not cheap. I've got the receipt here. The total amount I've paid was 170 for that corpus menu. I had the cheese course as a supplement, that's another £19.50, so that takes the food cost to £189.50. Service charge on that at 12.5% is £23.69, and let me tell you, worth every penny. You won't hear me moaning about a service charge here at all. More than well deserved. Total £213.19. Now that's a lot of money, isn't it? It is a lot of money. That is the most money I've spent on a meal for one person on this channel. I did spend more at Gymkhana, but that was me and the cameraman eating. Yeah. But what a treat, eh? What a treat. If I know not everyone's going to be able to afford this kind of stuff, and if I wasn't doing this job, I wouldn't be able to afford it either. That's for sure. It's only because I'm coming here to film it for you guys to see that I get the opportunity to come to places like this. So again, thank you for putting me in this position. Yeah, 5 out of 5, 6 out of 5, 7 out of 5, I don't care how you frame it. It's the best meal I've had. Absolutely spectacular. Does it get Greeno's green light? The greenest of green lights. Absolutely wonderful. If you get the chance to come to Midsummer House, Daniel Clifford's 2 Michelin star restaurant here in Cambridge, do it. Absolutely do it. They have got a like a lunch menu with 3 courses, which are 3 of the courses that I had, and you still get some of the other elements around it, and that's £105. Takes it down into a sort of a realms of a bit more reasonable. If you can only do that, because it's worth it. It really is. Right. So, where are you going to find me next? Well, first of all, what you're going to do, hopefully, is like the video. Click the subscribe button if you're not already. Ding your bell for notifications. Watch some more videos. Watch some of the ads in them. Help pay for this. But yeah, where are you going to find me next? I don't know. But it's going to have to go somewhere to beat this, isn't it? This has been right up my Strasse. Really has. I'll see you next time, folks. Bye for now.